David Hume (1711–1776) was a Scottish philosopher, historian, and essayist best known for his influential system of empiricism and skepticism. In philosophy, when we speak of Hume's definition in the context of knowledge and ideas, it often refers to his view that,
according to David Hume, the entire source of human knowledge, thoughts, and ideas lies in sensations. In his view, the sequence of these things is as follows. Impression. When we see, hear, smell, taste, or touch something through our five senses, a direct sensation is produced that is absolutely certain and extremely vivid. This is what David Hume calls an impression, and it is the fundamental source of all our thoughts, ideas, and everything else. For example, if you are looking at or eating a mango, the direct sensation you experience of its color, smell, and taste is an impression. Simple idea. Once we have a direct sensation of something, afterward, through thinking about it, its memory and an idea of it are formed in our mind, which we can recall or describe at any moment. Hume calls these simple ideas. For example, once you have eaten a mango, the memory of its color, smell, and taste that remains in your mind, and which you can recall at any time, are called simple ideas. Complex idea. Our mind holds countless simple ideas, and when we combine, mix, or modify them, the interaction of these ideas produces larger ideas, which Hume calls complex ideas. For example, you have seen the color blue and you have also seen a mountain, so you have simple ideas of both. Now, by combining them, you can form the idea of a blue mountain even if you have never actually seen one. Such combinations are called complex ideas. They are not something you have directly sensed, but they are formed from simple ideas you have sensed. Therefore, they arise from the interaction of simple ideas and are nothing extraordinary. Copy principle. From this, Hume's famous copy principle emerges. We cannot form an idea of anything we have never sensed. Impression. Thus, ideas are born from sensations and are either simple or complex. Simple ideas are merely the memories of sensations, so they cannot go beyond them. Even complex ideas can be reduced to sensations. They too originate from sensations. For example, Spider-Man is a complex idea made up of two simple ideas, spider and man. Both are simple ideas, memories of sensations. Therefore, in reality, we can only sense things, and every sensation produces a simple idea. By combining, multiplying, mixing, or altering simple ideas, we can form complex ideas. However, complex ideas can still be broken down into simple ideas, which ultimately reduce to sensations. Thus, we can only form ideas about things we have sensed. We cannot form any idea about things we have never sensed. The question. This raises a question. None of us has ever sensed timelessness or spacelessness, yet we still have an idea of them. Similarly, none of us has sensed infinity or eternity, yet we hold these ideas. In the same way, none of us has sensed perfection, yet we can conceive of it, although we are incapable of fully comprehending or grasping these concepts. So, if we have never sensed them, how can we form ideas of them? Clarifying some objections. Hume cannot claim that we have sensed time and space, and that by negating them we form the idea of timelessness and spacelessness, because we have never sensed nothingness either. Bringing nothingness into the argument itself raises questions for his system. If every idea comes from sensation, then how do we have a simple idea of nothing? If everything arises from sensations, these questions remain because such concepts cannot be reduced to sensations. They are beyond them. For these, we would need a perfect sensation, which we have never had. When we have only ever seen limits, only ever seen imperfections, only ever seen things begin and end, then we have no impression or simple idea that something could be infinite, perfect, or without beginning or end. Without such impressions, we can neither form complex ideas nor reduce them to simpler ones. This is against both of Hume's principles. Thus, Hume must implicitly admit that certain things exist outside his paradigm, things not part of any spectrum of our experiences, but beyond all sensation. The solution? In contrast to Hume, philosophers such as Immanuel Kant considered things like time and space to be a priori realities, conditions necessary for any perception, and accepted them as given. This approach may be practically useful, but it does not provide a complete rational explanation. Moreover, concepts like infinity and perfection do not fit into this category at all. These things are neither a priori, innate knowledge, nor a posteriori, derived from experience. So what are they? Why do we have concepts of timelessness, spacelessness, perfection, and eternity? Why do they arise in our minds at all? Premises. 1. Our brain was never designed for these concepts. They are neither necessary for our survival nor present, even in the slightest degree, in any other living being. There is no evolutionary continuation that has reached its peak in us. 2. We have never sensed them with our 5 senses. 3. They are neither innate nor derived from our senses. 4. Yet they exist, and every human can conceive of them. 5. This means there must be something within us beyond the senses and innate faculties, something that allows us to perceive these concepts. According to Islamic and Abrahamic traditions, humans possess a soul, ruh, placed within us by God. This soul is spaceless, timeless, not of the world of time and space, filled with perfection, being the breath of the perfect God, eternal because of God, and has already witnessed the infinity of God's blessings and attributes. This, then, appears to be the best explanation. Important point. Human civilization was not built merely for survival, but to satisfy the inner longing for perfection. It is this inner drive for perfection that has given birth to art, poetry, clothing, language, storytelling, all fine arts, religion, culture, and civilization itself. This is what sets us apart from all other creatures, and it comes from the soul that God has placed within us.